Good afternoon, friends. I believe this is a crowd of complete Youngistan, maybe first timers in the market. And I welcome you all to this session and to the stock market. Uh, uh, just to connect and give me my background, I started off in 1980. I bought my first stock in 1980. And so this is almost like a 40 years of journey in the stock market. And basically, I started off in 1980, and I come from Raipur, Chhattisgarh, with a with a background in agriculture. My parents they have a ancestral piece of land, and I grew up early in a village in Chhattisgarh, and then I came to Nagpur for graduation and came to Mumbai for doing chartered accountancy. So, I am a chartered accountant. I passed out in 83, and then I had already developed liking for stock market. It was love at first sight, and the way from a guy from Raipur to get into stock market is quite a crazy thing. But I got hooked on while doing CA when I was auditing a lot of companies, and company officials were busy in speculating in the stock market or investing in the stock market. That really lured me into stock market. And then in 1983, I passed my CA and did my equity research for 2 years. And then in 87, I started Motilal Oswal with Motilal as a hostel mate. We had met in the hostel. And that's how the journey of Motilal started in 87. And so that was a journey starting in 87. And now it's a $1 billion firm, $1.5 billion firm. And it has been a wonderful journey of, I actually, this is 33, 34 years in the of the firm, and it's wonderful to see how Indian economy and stock market has evolved. So this is just a brief introduction, and I'm asked to speak on 10 commandments of making money in the stock market. So I've tried my best to put this is a brand new presentation which was assembled yesterday. So you'll see some uh, you'll see some kind of new slides. So since you guys are coming almost new to the stock market, let me tell you there is no one way of making money in the market. If there are million guys, there are million ways of making money. This should completely free you from any kind of a set thing that this is the only way to make money. No, there are million guys, million ways of making it. It's so creative, and it is so all-encompassing kind of market. You can approach from any side in the sense that you might be a mining engineer, and yet you can find your way of making money in the market. You could be the biggest MBA or chartered accountant, and you can make money. So everybody will have a different way, creative way, and that's the fun of the market. And everyday market is different, so that even gives even more creativity to the whole scheme of things. So there is no gospel 10 commandments, but these are the things which works for me, and this is how I make money in the market, and have made a lot of money in the market in past. So you may learn some of the things from that, or maybe you can follow all way through. But like my guru is Warren Buffett. I learned about him in '94, and since then, bulk of the things I've learned from Warren Buffett, and you will see the imprint of his teachings in what I'm going to say. Yeah. So our philosophy. See, you got to have a philosophy in the market, and that gets developed little later. Your own natural style of investing. So we call it QGLP. QGLP, quality, growth, longevity at reasonable price. So you have to look for four things in a stock. Just to summarize this particular philosophy, top quality company, and top quality company means top quality business multiplied by top quality management. Then if you have done that, you are 95% you are done. Then growth in the earnings, longevity of growth and quality, and most importantly, I would say 99% is the price at which you buy. Investing is business like stuff. If you do business and you buy things at crazy prices, you are not going to be successful in the business, howsoever good things you buy. So price is very important to in the investing business of investing. So you have to buy at a reasonable price. Now, commandment one, the rule number one is that invest in equities, don't speculate. Equities, all this wealth, if you see all over the world, the richest guys are Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett. I mean, these guys, they have all made money out of investing in equities of their own companies. They have not invested in other companies' equities and become rich. They have invested in their own equities, and that's why they have never speculated in their equities. So invest in equities and don't speculate. So that is very important, that if you want to make a serious wealth, if you want to have fun, you can go and speculate. That's a different thing. But if you want to seriously accumulate a lot of wealth, uh, and Warren Buffett is the only guy who has made money in the equities of other companies. I mean, companies run by others. So he has bought Geico, he has bought Seas Candy, he has bought Apple recently. So he has got some 60, 70 companies, and that's how he has made a lot of money, American Express and all. So he's the only guy. Rest all the guys, they have made hundreds of billions of dollars, like Tesla very recently, Elon Musk. He has made money, but he has made money uh, in in Tesla itself. So you have to be owner of your own equities, since you know the destiny, what you're going to do. You actually understand the future of that company, and you stay in, and that's how you make money. So investing in equities and not speculating is very important. A lot of guys, they start their career with the speculation, and that's a bad way of starting. I can tell you this, in equity markets, because equity markets making money is a long journey, and most of the guys who are speculating, they would not last. I mean, most of them, I'm talking about 99.9%. I'm not talking about that one in a hundred, one in a million, one in thousands, who will be successful for some time. But I have not come across anybody who is 100% speculator, and yet he has amassed a big wealth. Some of them are successful, 50 crores, 100 crores here and there. But even 50, 100 crores is very difficult. I'm telling you, in the career of 30, 40 years. But if you want to make thousands of crores, billions of dollars, you have to invest. That's my firm belief. So what is difference between investing and speculation? An investment operation is one which, upon thorough analysis, promises safety of principal and a satisfactory return. Operations not meeting these requirements are speculative. An investor looks for change in the value. A speculator looks for change in the price. You are not, when you are a speculator, you don't care what is going to happen to the company and company's business. You are only concerned about the price change. Earlier the better. Though even the guy who is looking for value, he also is looking finally for the price change, but he is not buying just for the price change. He is looking for change in the value and hence in the price. So you have to understand what is a speculation and what is investing. Don't time the market. This is very important, because not only in India, worldwide, if there are, say, 100 million investors all over the world, investors or speculators you leave, speculators' job is to time the market. But there are 100 million investors. Every one of them, each one of them, they are trying to time the market. And they are trying to time the market to do what? The other 99 million guys, they want to outsmart the other your brothers, sisters, competition, whatever. So how is it possible to successfully time the market? And I'll tell you why. I mean, median return remains 15%. But what is important is to have uh, long gestation period for 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. You see, as the year increases, your return converges around 15%. So it is important that you have a long gestation period in the market, and have a steady expectation. So why the timing doesn't work? This is one new slide, brand new slide. The need for perfect foresight, which is impossible. See, at 15,000, today index is at 15,000. You might be perfectly foresightful to say that market is going to go down. Then at 12,000, you have to become further foresightful that it is going to go to 18,000. Then from there to 15,000, and from 15,000 to 25,000, 25,000 to 20,000. So 1, 2, three, four, five, six. Before the market doubles, you have to have six perfect foresight. Then only you can kind of optimize getting the market. So I don't think there is anybody on this earth who can have so many foresights. That's why once you have bought the market, bought some stock or something at 15,000, you have to sit through so that you can enjoy the journey without any problem. Don't consume your energy in trying to figure out the market. Use that all the energy to figure out which stocks to buy. Commandment 3, master the power of compounding. I think this should be the first one. Master the power of compounding. What is compounding? It is very simple. Rule of 72. At what pace? See, the whole universe is only about compounding. Only about compounding. And this power of compounding, rules of compounding, rule of 72, the person who gets it, I mean, this is a when the stars come together, then you get the concept of compounding into your head. Everybody has read in the books, in the arithmetics and all, what is compounding, interest on interest. But stock market is only about compounding, but nobody gets it in the practice, and very few understand, and few of the fewest they practice it. So, what is power of compounding? Power of compounding is rule of 72. How much time it takes to double your money? When you divide 72 by percentage, you get number of years, and when you divide 72 by number of years, you get the percentage. So 72 divided by 15, in 5 years you double your money. If you divide the 72 by 5, you get 15%, at which you compound your money. So in 3 years, at the rate of 25, you can double your money. At 4 years, you can double your money at around 20%, and at 5 years, you can double your money at 15%. So that's how the compounding works. And most of the people don't know that if the money doubles in 5 years, it goes four times in 10 years. It goes 16 times in in 15 years, and it goes to 32 times in 20 years. So this particular thinking is not understood, and that's where the market misprices a lot of stocks. So compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. It is the most powerful force of the universe. That's what Mr. Einstein says. And I mean, you look at it in 10 years at 25%, something goes 10x, then 9.3 to be exact, but 10x. In 30 years, it doesn't go to 30 times, it goes to 1,000 times. This is the power you have to understand. Difference between 10 and 30 years is not 3, but 87x. This has to be understood while buying. And that's why we are saying don't time the market. Don't time the market. Don't time the stock of buying and selling. Once you got it right, sit through. I mean, the companies will just lift you. It's like a God coming in your home if the compounding starts working on your stocks. Learn to estimate value. And why I'm saying is that there are two things in the market: price and value. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Now, a lot of people, they confuse between value and price. So when you buy a mobile phone for a lakh rupees or 75,000 rupees, that is the price you are paying. But the value you are getting is worth millions. I mean, you cannot live without that phone. I mean, you can get the same phone for maybe 15,000 or 10,000. The usage remains same, and the price has come down. So the value underlying and the price, the disconnect is total. So try to understand in businesses, the stock price, like when you're buying TCS shares, the value, price of the company is 11 lakh crores. And the value, is it worth 20 lakh crores or is it 10 lakh crores? The market is one place where if the value of the company is 100, you can sell it for 1,000. And many times when the value of the company is 1,000, you can buy it for 100. And that's where and nobody wants to do the hard work of estimating value, because that's a bit and at times lot of hard work to understand value. But you have to bring that culture of learning to estimate value right from day one. You must keep estimating whatever cement business, dealership, restaurant, whatever taxi wala, whosoever you come across, any business, you must try to estimate value day in day out, and finally you'll become master of it. So as Buffett said, price is what we pay, value is what we get. And Phil Fisher said, in the stock market, most people know the price of everything. Now it is a nanosecond that everybody knows the price, but value of nothing. Nobody knows value underlying, and that is the biggest opportunity in the marketplace. Even today, in digital age, if you dedicate yourself to understanding value of the stocks, whatever within your circle of competence you can understand, I think that's where you start winning. Buy only those businesses which you understand. Now, when you want to understand the value, what is most important is, now we are starting the journey of how do we understand value. Price is given to everybody at any given point of time. So now how do we understand value? Buy only those businesses which you understand. Now, it is not in everybody's cup of tea to understand every single business or every single company, because there is a lot of variety. Even in cement business, one simple business, cement, you'll find 20, 30 companies with different locations, different efficiencies, and different management attitude, different reinvestment cycle, and different integrity levels in the company. So you have to understand those companies so much that you understand better than or as good as the owner, because owner is a guy who is building that canvas of that company. But the moment you have understood the company 70, 80%, 90%, then you are able to predict the future of the company in a easy way, and that allows you to understand the future value of the company. And you cannot understand the future value of the company unless you understand the business today. So it's like a guy who has IIT Ahmedabad degree, but he doesn't tell me that he has those degrees. So if anybody is standing in front of me, I can't figure out what is the value of the guy. But the moment he tells me that he is IIT Ahmedabad, he has 5 years, he has worked in Hindustan Lever, and now he is dying to get into this stock market. So there is some amount of value out there, and I know what how exactly he thinks. So it is important to understand the business. I cannot overestimate how important it is to understand businesses, and you'll be able to understand few businesses, four or five at best. You cannot understand all the 120 businesses which are there. So Buffett said in 2007 letter. This is the most wonderful piece written by Warren Buffett by his own hand in 2007, page 6 and 7. So he said the kind of businesses they like. A business we understand. That is the first point which we have covered. Then what else you're looking for? The once you understand the business, then only you are looking for business with long-term economics and able and trustworthy management. Terrific business, terrific management, and sensible price tag. There are only three asking: great business, great management, and sensible price. But all those things are possible only if you understand the business. So, commandment 6, assess the management thoroughly. As we said, you are going to buy. Most of the people, they come and ask me, how do we figure out the integrity of the management? So what is important is to figure out not only competent and hyper passionate guy, because in India everybody is first generation, most of them, so they will always be very competent and very growth mindset oriented. But integrity is an issue. The guys who have integrity, they will go very far. The guys who don't have integrity, it's like creating a small tree. He will never be able to grow to very high levels. So integrity, competence, and passion, all three are required. And integrity is one thing which you know by talking to the competition, by talking to the ex-employees, talking to the auditor, and somehow somebody will come and tell you this guy is God in this business, and that's the starting point for starting investing in company. And the importance of business management is so much in equity investing. It is said by Phil Fisher, management is 90%, industry is 9%, and 1% is everything else. So if you get a wonderful management, I mean, that is not sufficient to make money, but it is a 90% job done if you are with the good management. So here is a integrity versus competence, this thing. If you have a terrific management competence, and you have terrific management integrity, that leads to a fantastic investment universe. And if you don't have any one of them, you are into some kind of traps. So it is very important that you get both of them right. Look for sustained quality and growth. See, what is important is to not only you are good for last 12 months or next 12 months markets. You might see that, okay, right now, what is happening is a lot of companies are announcing they are going to make quarter billion vaccines or something like that. What is going to happen is, for that particular year in which you're supplying the vaccine will be lasting for say a year or two. The earnings will maybe double or maybe go up by 50, 60%. When those results come after they supply the vaccines, the profit goes from 500 crores to say 1,000 crores. The market will be in euphoric mood, and they will push the stock price to very high level. But that is not sustained. After the vaccine, after the COVID is over, the vaccine supply will go down or it will disappear, and the company's earnings, which are doubled, will come down, and market will again punish it. So what we have to look for is the sustained quality and sustained growth. So the quality and growth is the ultimate. When we say QG, quality and growth is extremely important. This we wrote in 2014. When you get high quality and high growth, that's where the true wealth creation happens, because quality alone is fully priced in this marketplace. Growth alone is also more or less priced, but if the growth doesn't have quality, it doesn't sustain. So for sustained profitability and sustained success of the company, you need profit quality as well as growth. That is called QG. So commandment 8 is don't overpay. One of the things is don't ever pay. Now you have got the top quality. You are starting with business you understand. Second, you are looking at the terrific business. There are good businesses and bad businesses. So you're looking at great businesses with a great economics. Second, then you are looking for terrific management. And then third and most important is that don't overpay. I mean, see, you can't get it always cheap. You have to pay reasonable price, but make sure that you are not overpaying. I mean, if the fair price is 20, you might pay 22, 25. You'll not get killed. Your percentage return will be down by a percentage or two. But if you pay, say, 50 or 100, you're locking yourself into trouble. I mean, of underperformance for many years to come. So if you look at it, if valuation is high and growth is high, it is a speculative thing. When your growth is high and valuation is low, that's where you get the multi-bagger. You're asking for multi-bagger stories. I mean, you have to find high growth companies at a low P multiple. And if it is sustained high growth, you are, I mean, I can tell you, you go into any market, anywhere in the world, any point of time, this one will work for sure. High growth, low P, particularly if the growth is going to be 25%, you buy at 14, 12, 14%. I mean, whatever, lower the better. I think you win big time. And practice margin of safety. That's what I was saying. Finally, margin of safety is the value price gap. Relevant extracts from intelligent investor. The margin of safety is always dependent on the price paid. It will be large at one price, small at higher price, and non-existent at some still higher price. In some, we say that to to have a true investment, there must be present a true margin of safety, and a true margin of safety is one that can be demonstrated by figures, by persuasive reasoning, and by reference to a body of actual experience. Another thing is that now, how do we make money? There is a book called 100 is to 1 by Thomas Phelps. That wonderful book, and there he says there are three things required: have vision, courage, and patience. Have vision, courage, and patience, all three. If you have vision, because you're buying the future of the company, and then courage, these two people have, that's why they come to the market. But very few people have the patience. Patience is a must to make a lot of money, because the compounding will work only if you have the patience, and compounding will work where you have the understanding. So first thing is understanding, that will lead to buying the right stock, that will bring patience, and the moment you buy good company and have patience, you will have the compounding. And if you have compounding for 20, 30 years, even one or two stocks can make you very rich. Yeah. And I think I would say at the end, read, read, and read. I mean, if you don't have the passion for reading, because the markets are evolving by the day, in the sense that markets were very different in 1940, 1960, 1970. I mean, the style, the trading, the concept, the basic concept of equity remains same. But what is value? How to estimate value? That concept, the fashion or the tradition of how do you value, has been changing across the board. I mean, the value is present value of the future cash flow, but how the markets read that particular thing, there is a kind of a fad for every 20, 30 years, and it keeps changing. So the way Tesla is valued today, it would have never been valued like that, say 20, 30 years back. So these are change of times. And and uh, and uh, so a lot of laws are immortal in stock market, but the things keep changing. So the new opportunities, new businesses, new managements, new way of looking at things, you have to keep reading, and I don't think there is any alternative to that, to keep making money in the stock market. So these are a few books which I recommend: Common Stocks, Uncommon Profits, Berkshire Letters, Value Investing by Professor Greenwald, Comparative Strategy by Michael Porter, Adrian Slovaski's Value Migration, and Michael Mauboussin Expectations Investing. These are things you must. These are all foundational reading. You have tons of the other books and blogs, but these are the things which have really taught me a lot. And so again, to revise the 10 commandments: invest in equities, don't speculate, don't time the market, master the power of compound. This, if you can get power of compounding in this presentation, I think I would be very happy. That itself is sufficient, and it is so simple. Rule of 72, and you can Google. There is no simpler thing than compounding, a concept of compounding, but there is no more difficult thing which people don't get it. Learn to estimate value, buy only businesses you understand, assess the management thoroughly, look for sustained quality and growth, don't overpay, have vision, courage, and patience, and read, read, read. So this is the summary of what I would put a few thoughts at this juncture. You must have your set of commandments, and as you mature in the market, you will become wonderful guy and beat everybody in the world of making money. Thanks.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.